Hello and welcome, team. If you're watching this video, you probably have a noisy espresso machine. Mine's the Rancilio Silvia Pro, and it's pretty noisy, or was pretty noisy. Quick shout out to Tate Mazer. I got this idea from his channel. He's got a lot more detailed stuff over there, so give him a watch. He kind of gave me the idea to go through the sound deadening process. I got a bit of exposure working with sound deadening materials before. Here's some footage from an Land Cruiser Troop Carrier build that I did, where I've just got that base level sound deadening layer there with some foam that went over the top of that, and that proved really effective. We took that truck around Australia. It was nice and comfy and quiet on the bumpy roads. Tools for the job: you'll need something to measure with, so a tape measure or ruler, permanent marker, Phillips head screwdrivers. I've got a couple of those there, and a box cutter. And then obviously you're going to need your sound deadening layer as well. This is what I got from Amazon. Forgot to show on the video, but I also used isopropyl alcohol just to prep the inside of the machine to get that deadening material on. Check out how much they're charging for that stuff. And I'll just pick these up off Amazon to tidy up the wires and pipes inside the machine to see if I can stop it from rattling on the side of the body. Yep, so here I am getting the back casing off the machine and just measuring up. I didn't go through getting the front and the drip tray and the group head cover off the machine because I thought that was pretty basic and there's a lot of stuff going around on the internet to take apart the machine. So I mainly just wanted to capture the measure and cut. Really easy to use this material. Yep, so once you've prepped up that surface with some isopropyl alcohol, it's really just a matter of sticking it down. Some kits come with a roller tool. I didn't even worry about it. And you'll start to notice pretty much straight away when you start applying this butyl rubber, that tinny knocking sound on the side of the coffee machine changes completely, right? So here I am knocking the side of the machine with the sound deadening rubber on, completely changes the acoustics. You may be looking at this and thinking, what has he put under that motor there? It's a piece of plastic from an office desk, which is just stopping it from rotating around. I'm just experimenting with immobilizing that vibratory motor a little bit more. There it is again, mounted on a little piece of butyl rubber. So I'm just kind of testing that out. All right, so the audio on those two videos didn't do it justice. The after footage has been boosted up by iPhone and sounds just as loud. So here's the before and after waveform. It gives you a little bit more insight into what's happening. And I can say that it definitely does make a big difference. It's a lot quieter. So I realized I needed to start taking decibel readings, and I got an app, and I'll put the link to the app that I used. Ended up peaking up around the 29 to 31-ish mark, and it was kind of more than I thought. I'm going to take it a step further, and I've gone online and grabbed myself a Pulsor. Pretty cheap bit of kit. I think it was like 35 bucks Aussie, and pretty easy to install as well. So I'm hoping that I get some decent results out of this thing. I've read pretty positive reviews online. So water just goes into this diaphragm and then continues along out the top fitting there. So we'll see. The other thing I'm going to have a crack at is tidying up some of these wires with some cable ties. So any wires or tubing that's touching the side of the machine to reduce that drumming. And I thought while I'm there I may as well do a disinfect with a Milton's tablet, and I'll put a link in the description for those. Here's the stuff that I use for fitting the pulsar and for tidying up those wires. Yeah, so I'm just cleaning off the pipe fittings here. There was some crud kind of built up in those threads, so just getting a wire brush and giving them a tidy up. Just popping some Teflon tape on there to the pulsar, getting it fitted on. I ran into a bit of a problem with this braided pipe. Once I fitted up and tested it, I got a leak. So this is me just taking it apart again and putting some Teflon tape onto that elbow joint. But I read online that that's not actually how it's supposed to be configured, so I wouldn't recommend doing this part the same as what I'm doing here. But sometimes, as they say, if it works, it works. And for me, it worked this time. So I just thought I'd tidy up some of the wires that were potentially touching the side of the machine at this stage. Okay, so a couple of weeks on from the Pulsar install now, I've given it a chance to run in, and I'm pretty happy with the results here. So not a crazy difference decibel wise, but the type of sound is a lot more subdued, a lot less tinny, and yeah, just better. Cool. So like I said, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results so far, but I'm going to take it a step further and bang in this OLAB green pump. I've read that this thing goes all right on Reddit, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. It was only about 60 bucks Aussie, so I'll throw that in and test her out. Also, I had to cut my face out of this video because the audio stuffed up, so I had to record it in post. Much the same equipment wise as last time, except with the addition of the spanner and the electrical tester to test the resistance on the fuse on the pump. The other handy thing to have here, I guess, is the dental pickup to get that silicon out so that you can get the fuse out nice and cleanly. Yeah, so just prying out the silicon that surrounds that thermal fuse just bit by bit. Nice and careful. Yeah, I just got Claude to talk me through what the resistance should be on this thing. Anything less than 1 was a pass. Nothing too fancy here, just trying to dress this pump up to look fairly similar to how the previous one was installed, so I'm just putting some foam tape on it. Of course, I was going to get a leak, so I had to take it back apart and redo it. That dental tool came in handy again, just for picking out Teflon from the threads. Righto, take 2. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, that's enough. I have had enough of taking the machine apart and putting it back together. That will do me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. And happy espressoing.